So here we are at the museum of the oldest house in St. Augustine. We're going to take a look at the museum real quick. And that's one of the sites that you actually can come visit when you come to the Hanukkah Lights celebrations from the 18th to the 25th of December at the Gazebo in the Plaza de la Constitución in St. Augustine. And so we're just going around a little bit. This is the flag that was flying here because Spain conquered America with the Spanish soldiers, and among them, and the clergy, there must have come a lot of those converso Jews, Marrano Jews that had converted under duress to Catholicism and wanted to escape the eyes of the Inquisition in Spain. So they would have wanted to go to the new lands, because in the new lands they were a little bit more protected, not fully, but a little bit more protected than if they were in Spain. So they came here. So the flag that would be flying in St. Augustine wouldn't be the American flag then. It's 1565, the 16th century. It would have been the Spanish flag. Don Pedro Menendez de Aviles, who is the one that is the conquistador or the conqueror of what became St. Augustine. They called it San Agustin here. And it's interesting that they dedicated this place and the city with a church that they planted, but they started with planting a big cross. And the whole place was called Misión Nombre de Dios. Nombre de Dios in Spanish means Hashem, or the name. So this was called Misión Hashem. And according to historical recounts, actually the mission, the Catholic mission, opened here in St. Augustine on Yom Kippur. In every other place, the missions that they opened, they were called like by the name of some virgins or something like that. Virgin of this and Virgin of the other, or Santa Cruz, Holy Cross, or whatever. But here, it was just called Hashem Mission, or the Name of God Mission. Interesting. When the Spanish came, they thought that they were in India, which is in Asia, while they were in America, so they called them Indians. But it's really the natives, the First Nations. They actually, this place and dispossessed many of these natives and First Nations to establish the Spanish colony. For the most part, they converted them. They converted them to Catholicism. Many of them did convert because it was just easier that way, and they ended up being Catholics. One of the main fixtures in St. Augustine, we may have the time to do this, to show you actually the Castillo de San Marcos, the fortress of St. Augustine. That Castillo that they built here, it's just such an impenetrable fortress that they say that nobody has ever been able to conquer it. Until today, we have cannons that once a day, they actually shoot those cannonballs. Well, not these cannonballs, but something mock that doesn't harm anybody, just to give you the feel as if we're still in ancient St. Augustine or in ancient Spain.